Welcome to my views and news. Another video for you. Firstly, an opposition party from the Tigray region today rejected the peace agreement signed in South Africa around 8 days ago. The party is demanding removal of the TPLF from Tigray's political scene. Small party, newly formed. What did the party say in the statement? Uh, Secondly, we have a new story for you about continued allegations by Tigray government officials about alleged atrocities being committed by Eritrean troops in Tigray. Are these accusations meant to force Eritrean military out of Tigray, or something is happening in reality on the ground? Thirdly, a journalist in prison for around 2 months was released today. I think he's an ethnic Amhara, and he was arrested twice this year, but he was granted bail today. And lastly, viewers, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, Somalia's president, has arrived in Eritrea once again. Yesterday, I reported that Hassan Sheikh was planning to visit Eritrea. He visited Eritrea in July. So once again, he's back in Eritrea. What is the agenda? Is the agenda about the return of thousands of Somalia soldiers who are still in Eritrea? Can Hassan Sheikh secure the release or return of his soldiers from Eritrea? Before these four news stories, a little correction. In the previous video, I shared a picture showing a Tigray fighter and an Ethiopian National Defense Force member. I said the picture was a new picture. It showed new engagements between Tigray fighters and ENDF members. The pic which I showed earlier, you can see on your screen, is an old picture. It was taken more than 2 years ago, before the start of Tigray conflict. But let's hope that we receive fresh pictures like this one. Ethiopia needs peace, viewers. Firstly, an opposition party from the Tigray region of Ethiopia today indirectly rejected the peace agreement. Party's name is Tigray Independence Party, not backed by Addis Ababa. There are some opposition parties of Tigray which are seen as backed by Addis Ababa. This one is based in Tigray. The party has been critical of Ethiopian federal government since the start of the war in northern Ethiopia. Tigray Independence Party, small party, it got only 18,000 votes in September 2020 regional election, when 2.6 million votes were cast, and TIP got only 18,000 votes. So it's a very small party. Main party in Tigray is obviously TPLF. TIP says that the agreement signed in South Africa was between TPLF and Ethiopian federal government. Where were the people of Tigray? TPLF is not sole representative of the people of Tigray. TPLF wants to protect its own political interests. It wants to sabotage the struggle for independence of the people of Tigray. TIP says that referendum should be held in Tigray. People of Tigray should work for independence, for secession, for a separate country, and the peace agreement should be amended. A Tigray Defense Force must not be disarmed. Tigrayan diaspora should continue its struggle and force TPLF out of Tigray. TPLF must be removed from Tigray's political scene. So it means that the party is rejecting the peace agreement. Party says that the peace agreement is a conspiracy. to hijack, to put an end to the struggle for independence of the people of Tigray. The party's, I think, manifesto is about independence. Its name is Tigray Independence Party. It is in support of secession of Tigray. So this is first major opposition to peace agreement in Tigray region. But the party is not expected to have huge following in Tigray. Let's see, can this new stance of the party, opposition party, convince Tigrayans to support this party and reject TPLF? That remains to be seen. But in the next regional election, I think TPLF will face serious challenges. Secondly, viewers, Tigray government officials are continuing their accusations against Eritrean military. Professor Kindeya spoke yesterday and he spoke today as well. People say, Sajid, why do you quote Professor Kindeya? He is unreliable. He tells lies. He is from Tigray External Affairs Bureau. He is not an activist. He is not a journalist. That is why what he is saying must be reported. It's up to you to believe or not, but I think I should report the statements of officials from the two sides. He says that killings, kidnappings and shelling by Eritrean military in Tigray continue. All this happening around Shire, around Edi Dairo. And flocks of Eritrean civilians, including women, have entered Tigray. They are looting Tigray's properties near Shire. And it is happening after the signing of the cessation of hostilities agreement. Now, it's difficult to confirm or reject the accusations leveled by Professor Kindeya. It could be part of a campaign to force Eritrean military out of Tigray, to urge international community to play its role in pushing Eritrean military out of Tigray. Or it could be happening in reality. It's difficult to say what is happening on the ground. But Tigray officials are not saying a word about Ethiopian National Defense Force. Both EDF and ENDF are jointly deployed in Tigray near Shiraro. What is ENDF doing there? If Eritrean military is involved in lootings, kidnappings and shelling on areas of Tigray, what is ENDF doing? No statement from Ethiopian National Defense Force so far. Is ENDF part of this plot? That ENDF is now standing with the Tigray fighters. ENDF wants EDF to be out of Tigray, and that is why ENDF is silent. ENDF wants Tigray officials to continue this campaign against Eritrean military. Thirdly, viewers, a journalist in prison for around 2 months has been released. His name is Gobeze Sisay, who's been covering Ethiopian conflicts for around 3 years now. And he was arrested twice this year. In May, he went missing for around a week. He later appeared after a gap of around a week or 10 days, I think. And around 2 months ago, he was again arrested. He was arrested after the start of Tigray, Ethiopia, third round of fighting in August. He and Miyaza Muhammad were arrested. Miyaza was released. But he remained in prison. And today he was granted bail for 100,000 Ethiopian birds. He was granted bail and he has been released from prison so far. Very critical of TPLF. Gobeze Sisay is very critical and critical of Ethiopian federal government as well, and you'll see him report once again in the same manner, the way he reports. So arrests don't change his way of reporting mostly. Let's see. He might go silent like Tamrat Nagra, who was very vocal against Eritrea. when he was, I think, around a year ago. He was arrested and then he just went mute. Let's see what happens in the case of Gobeze Sisay. Lastly, viewers, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud is back in Eritrea. He visited Eritrea in July, where Isaias Afwerki welcomed him with open arms at Asmara airport. Once again, Isaias Afwerki welcomed him with open arms at Asmara airport. Red carpet welcome was given to Hassan Sheikh, but will he only receive this welcome, or will he be able to secure the return of his soldiers as well? 5,000 Somalia soldiers in Eritrea for around 2 years, for more than 2 years. Last time in July, when Hassan Sheikh returned from Eritrea, he said that Eritrea was going to return Somalia soldiers, but it has not happened so far. People say Eritrea is demanding millions of US dollars as expenditure, which it spent on the military training of Somalia soldiers. But Somalia's government denies these reports. Hassan Sheikh visited US a few weeks ago, and there he said that he was in the US to talk on different issues, and including the return of Somalia soldiers from Eritrea, and that Somalia wanted US support for the return of its soldiers from Eritrea. So once again, he's back in Eritrea. Will Isaias Afwerki agree to Hassan Sheikh's request for the securing of his soldiers? I think this is the main objective of Hassan Sheikh's visit. Otherwise, there are no other main issues pending between the two countries. Though they did sign some agreements in July this year, but I think main issue which will come under discussions in Asmara is the return of thousands of Somalia soldiers from Eritrea to Somalia. Some say Hassan Sheikh could be traveling with bags of money to secure the release of his soldiers. But these are all rumors. Let's wait what happens. Isaias Afwerki welcomed him very warmly last time. Again, warm welcome. Can this warm welcome turn into some action as well? Or will this just remain a warm welcome? Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching.